It's too late. Robert Kiyosaki's final warning. What else do we have in this day of misinformation and fake news? I bring up Jim's background with the Pentagon, the White House, Congress, the CIA, and the Department of Defense because we all need trustworthy sources like him. He's an insider's insider. The current location of the book's lengthy discussion of Ukraine is on page 270, right before the last chapter. Russia's use of natural gas as a weapon dates back to when they annexed Crimea in 2014, when the invasion was planned in 2020, and when it began in 2011. Hello everyone and welcome to another video on our channel. In today's video, we're going to discuss It's Too Late, Robert Kiyosaki's final warning. So stay tuned to find out. Now let's start our video. It's interesting that, as you point out, the war was avoidable, given that you've been coming for a decade and have always sounded the drum like the tom. They've been warning everybody, but in the last year or so, your pounding has gotten louder. Your warnings have gotten direr, louder, and more direct. It's accessible to everybody, even me. It's a public record, but the real drama lies in the reasons for its publication and the intended outcomes. It's essentially an order that hastens the development of a central bank digital currency, CBDC, in the United States, which is happening worldwide. To my surprise, the Winter Olympics in February saw the prototype release of Beijing's own digital money, and the Bahamas are among the exclusive group of countries that have already taken this step. This is Europe's year. The European Central Bank, or ECB, has made significant progress compared to the United States and the Federal Reserve, partly because the ECB is responsible for printing the currency. The ECB recognized the issue's significance and kept an eye on it. Still, it took a cautious approach because, hey, we're the biggest statement currency, biggest reserve currency in the world, which the dollar is. And we don't want to race into something if it's not thought out. Then they responded, no, we have to go fast on this and catch up. And the work on 14067 was accelerated, yet it was all that could be gleaned from the text. If so, then what is the true motivation? First, some history of central bank digital currencies. There's still a market for dollars. A dollar in digital form is still worth a dollar. It's not a new currency per se. A digital Chinese yuan is still a Chinese yuan, and a digital euro is still a euro. However, it is a new payment channel and a new form of currency, if you want to think of it that way. However, it's still the dollar, and it goes hand in hand with eliminating cash. As in, I'll spend in a minute. We'll get into what the central bank digital currency. You might counter by saying, well, okay, but I still have the cash. I can go to the bank and get $10,000 or $100,000 in cash. By the way, that's not easy to do. I say it's legal. It's not illegal, but try doing it. They'll tell you to come back and make an appointment. They don't have that much money. They have to ship it in. You better show up with like your birth certificate and 5-character witnesses, which is true, but only after you. If you're liking this content so far, please consider subscribing and liking the video. Now let's continue. A blockchain is just a ledger. It has been around since the 1980s and isn't particularly significant. However, this ledger will be maintained by someone, most likely the Federal Reserve. But, it could be a new government agency doing it. It's kind of like a bank account, and we may soon arrive at a world in which you guys have accounts at banks that are either members of the Federal Reserve System or they're smaller banks that are correspondents of BI. Bank Wells Fargo & Co. I can't help you with Wells Fargo, but the point is that banks keep all the books. One day we may live in a world where everyone has an account that works with their smartphone, an iPhone, a Samsung, or something else. And if I send you money, the Federal Reserve removes it from my account and deposits it into yours. In this sense, I get a book when I visit a bookstore, use my credit card to purchase it, and bring it home. This receivable is owned by the merchant or retailer who sells it to an entity known as a merchant acquirer. Acquiring merchants, often known as merchant acquirers, are financial institutions that buy receivables in bulk from retailers of various sizes. Then they send off the massive amount of receivables, which might be worth hundreds of millions of dollars, to MasterCard or Visa to be processed for payment. Well, that's all for today's video. Tell us in the comment section how this one was. I hope that you found this video interesting. You can subscribe and watch more videos on our channel to keep up with more content. We'll see you in the following video with some more notable celebrities, facts, and stories. And until then, stay tuned.